The final score, Portsmouth 0, Wrexham 0, and we'll take that. We'll most definitely take that. Portsmouth really reacting well to a poor performance at the weekend against Birmingham. And clearly, well, apart from the fact they made 7 changes, also I think it's fair to say John Mussini had given them a good long talking to about the standard expected, and they came at us. Okay, they were 20th going into this match, but they're a decent championship side. They showed that last year in digging in and surviving. And yeah, but the fact of the matter is that they did better against us, I thought, than Middlesbrough and Coventry, because both those two promotion chasing teams, and indeed Stoke, until we had to take chances because we'd gone behind, we pretty much held those top three at arm's length. I thought a lot of our defending done in the mid-block. Arthur Okonkwo protected pretty well. This game felt very different though. Portsmouth, especially in the second half, did get at us. There were times when they forced us to defend deeper than we wanted to. Okonkwo made a couple of excellent saves. So yeah. Oh, and also I should say as well, okay, Okonkwo has been making good saves lately, but they've tended to be good saves from outside the box. Well, he's made a couple of close range saves here, which certainly were crucial. So yeah, Portsmouth with good spirits and with the excellence of Murphy on the left, who was just terrific. And then the weird good fortune of having Jordan Williams coming on the wrong side of the pitch for Ogilvy after he was injured after about 25 minutes. And Williams became the perfect accompaniment for Murphy in the second half, getting high up the pitch. Not only was he winning the ball and helping Murphy out, but also the two of them could go both inside and outside. And that caused Wrexham major issues. So, yeah, all in all, really good to keep a clean sheet when we're under pressure like that. Lots of great work in defence in the second half. And you definitely take a point out of a game that goes that way. Having said that, we really, I'd argue, should have been winning by half-time. Unchanged team, unsurprisingly, from the one that played so well against Coventry. And like I said, Portsmouth early on, with a vociferous crowd in an atmospheric stadium, really came at us. They were fast and we had to work hard in the early stages just to hold them at bay. We did hold them at bay though, and we earned the right to play. And the first half I thought was ours, although there were still sporadic spells of threat from Portsmouth. There was a big make after 11 minutes when there's a... well, born on the corner hospital pass really by Issa Kabore looking for Ben Sheaf, and well, a lunging tackle by Dozzell did not look pretty. The Wrexham players immediately were running to the ref demanding a red card, and the Portsmouth players immediately were rushing in to make a counter argument. You know, they were taking that possibility seriously. It was a yellow that was given, and I think that is the correct decision, having watched it over a few times. Although I've got to say the ref doesn't get to watch it over a few times, and it pains me to say this because I always whinge about Bobby Madley, but he did really well to pick the bones out of this without getting a chance to see it again. Either that or he just thought 11th minute, I'm sending no one off even if they go and shoot his grandmother or something. Basically what happened was Dozzell, indeed drawn in by Kabore's pass, does jump in from a long way out. It looks bad in some angles when you don't properly see exactly what's happened. You're thinking, oh, maybe that should be off. It isn't. He does pull out of it, I think. I mean, having said that, I'm always a bit wary when people talk about, oh, a player pulled out of it, because if they pull out of it but still follow through, they're reckless and out of control. We're talking about red card territory. Also, and I think this helped him a lot, Sheaf did manage to see him coming, touched it one way, and then had the challenge comes in. So he knew it was coming and sensibly didn't dwell on the ball. He just nudged it clear and took the foul. But to be fair to him, he didn't then get up. Oh, sorry, he didn't stay down, writhing about, trying to pin it onto Dozzell. Instead, he got up straight away and sort of pointed with a bewildered look on his face instead of, come on, mate, do something about that. So I think, to be fair, even though he has knocked it one way and then taken the contact, Sheaf's not looking for a red card, he's looking for a yellow, which it is a yellow, no question. So yeah, all in all, ref got that one right. Wrexham start getting on top of the game after this. Portsmouth sting has been drawn, and Wrexham start looking dangerous. The first opportunity we get a couple of major opportunities not long after that supposed red card incident. Starts off with Kakache going long to O'Brien. Nice little pass. He's in, I say going long, he's deep in his own half, and he hits a sort of cross-field pass to find O'Brien up in midfield. It's a good ball and it opens play out. O'Brien works it across again to the left for Sheaf, and Sheaf does something he does a few times in the first half. Just drives forwards. Does really, really well. Kakache has carried on round the outside, come into the box, and has now come in narrow. She finds him, and it's a lovely snappy little triangle of movement, this, as Sheaf hits him to feet, and then Kakache pops it to one direction to O'Brien, who's followed his run to it and to the box, and he takes a touch the other direction and rips a shot in, I beg your pardon, from just outside the box. There's defenders in the way of the goalkeeper's view, plus the ball is zigzagging right, left, right, in from the goalkeeper's point of view. And so when O'Brien then hits a nice early hit around a defender and going inside the left post, it's very good work to repel it from Bursic, the goalkeeper. He makes an even better save from the corner. It's worked short, and James's initial corner is cleared, but it comes back out to O'Brien. He whips it a great left-footed cross. He's got good delivery from wide positions, doesn't he? And Kiefer Moore is 6 yards out, plants a powerful downwards header. Great save. Just to claw it away. The goal line technology comes into play. The ball reaches the line, but doesn't. Only just starts to cross it. So, no goal, but inches away from being a goal, and a superb save to deny Kiefer Moore. And Wrexham are continuing now to look on top. We have a penalty shout, which I don't think is a penalty, in all honesty. Windass standing in a cross. Moore is there. Ogilvie comes up and makes contact on him from behind. Does he push him in the back? I think it's one of those cute ones. And again, it's slightly ironic, this, isn't it, really? Because people say, oh, isn't that cute, isn't that clever? I think Ogilvie basically realises that's a good cross, and Moore's going to get a header in on goal here, in all likelihood. I need to do something. So he basically runs into the back of him, but keeps his arms down, as if to say, I'm not pushing him. I mean, strictly speaking, I guess that is true. And like I said, defenders get praised for the cleverness of doing that sort of thing. But I would argue if you decide you're going to knock someone over from behind but keep your hands down to con the referee so he doesn't think you pushed them, it's still a foul, you could argue. But they again, Madley's right, so I would be unimpressed if it was given against Wrexham. And although Moore and Matty James complain, the decision isn't given. Portsmouth have to really withstand a bit of pressure. There's another big moment when O'Brien goes long. Windass does really well, breaking down the flank, pulls it back, and Moore is unmarked at the far post. Boat is the only defender in the box, and he gets a huge touch to flick the ball away from Moore to safety before Portsmouth are able to have a chance on goal. And it's a good opportunity. It's quick work by Devlin, who was a really fiery customer on the right as a wing back. He wins a throw off Kakache and then takes it very quickly on the halfway line, hurling it long into the centre circle to find Murphy in space. He drives forwards, uses Williams, and then from 25 yards out pulls a good powerful strike just wide of the far post. The Congo's got it covered, but it's a sort of shot that somebody might be able to get in, slide in and divert past the keeper. So good effort, that. But Wrexham then are back with another couple of chances in the space of a minute. Windass teeing up Sheaf for another carry to the edge of the area. He's got O'Brien and Moore either side. It's a promising break. Sheaf uses them as decoys because they drive wide and run into the box. Defenders drop off to mark them, and they allow Sheaf to get to the edge of the box where he drills a shot in just wide of the left post. Then a great piece of play by Moore on the halfway, and off balance manages to hook the ball on, and it looks like he sent Windass one-on-one with the keeper, but an unorthodox but glorious piece of defending by Bowers, who sees it coming behind him late and just manages, I think essentially sticks his backside out and makes a bump interception, if I might. And as a result, the ball ricochets away and the danger was gone. But it's a hell of a crucial touch, or Windass is totally through. Windass denied by bump interception. Whew, now there's a headline for you. In the closing moments of the half, Portsmouth get a second wind and start pinning us back, and right at the end of it they start making opportunities. Firstly, an error by Kabore. Wrexham are attacking, it's cleared. He has to race back to the edge of his own area. There are two strikers up, Murphy and Bishop, and Kakache is in support as well, but Kabore's got plenty of time but makes a mistake, drills it, hits Murphy and spins square to Bishop. He was actually goal side of Kakache, but isn't offside because he's not behind Kabore. So Bishop suddenly finds the ball dropping for him all on his own in the box. It's not the easiest take. He brings it down. He's just left of the left post as a result of having to bring it under control. Kakache does magnificently well to cover the space between them, get between man and ball, and get a block in when the shot comes in to put it behind from the corner. But the corner causes problems. Kiefer Moore heads it away. It comes back in, and Chaplin, brilliant technique, absolutely nails a volley with the meat of his foot from around just behind the penalty spot. It's a huge interception by Moore again, just getting his head to it and deflecting it over the bar, and Wrexham are able to get away with it. So second half, again, Portsmouth come out and they are absolutely all guns blazing. They really start to get at us, and this time we don't really fully recover from that, and we end up shipping an awful lot of pressure throughout the half. Early opportunities come when Murphy, who is, like I said, with Williams, are terrific down the left-hand side, cause major problems. In the end, Murphy cuts in, drills in a shot. It's a decent sight of goal, and Cleworth gets a big block on it, and then Okonkwo does ever so well to come across and get a touch on the second ball to put it behind from the corner. From the corner, Scar does really well to cover a ball to the near post and clear, and then it comes back in, and Scar again does really well to block and get the ball away. But the screw is now turning. Okonkwo starts getting drawn more and more into action and comes up with a couple of really big saves. Firstly, again, Murphy cutting inside and really hits the ball sweetly from about 25 yards left of centre. It's a crowded penalty area and he nails it. It's moving at high pace, and Okonkwo sees it late but gets down superbly low to his right to push it round the post, where it's arrowing right into the bottom corner. And from that corner, the ball is swept in to the far post by Murphy. Bishop has a free header 6 yards out at the far post, heads it down powerfully. Good save again, great save by Okonkwo, who gets across his goal quickly and is able to block the header with his legs. At the other end, Wrexham are on the hour mark, have a couple of moments, and again I think it's worth mentioning that even in games like this one, or the second half of the Stoke game where we didn't play so well, we do still tend to have threats, don't we, even when we're having to soak up pressure. And I must say, in this game, it was interesting to see, and again, I'm speaking to those of you who just automatically say Parkinson's quite negative. He keeps using O'Brien and Windass in support of Moore. They really work hard, those two. Put in a hell of a shift to get up in support of Moore so that he's not isolated, which is bold, because we could have sat in and used bodies more in a defensive manner, but we do that. Now we do get a bit overrun. It's a little bit of a risk, but then hey, taking the risk to try and win a game when you're under pressure, great. On the hour, Windass with a lovely piece of close control and skill on the halfway line with two players on him, zigzags and pushes the ball out. And it's a fabulous interception by Bowett again. By Poole. Otherwise, Moore is completely clear one-on-one with the keeper. Within a minute, again, such quick thinking by Windass. There's a foul. Windass sees that the ball is... firstly sees that players stretched, and secondly that the ball has just spun to an almost immediate halt and sprints up without breaking his stride, even takes a quick free kick, switching it to Kakache, and Kakache plays the perfect through ball. O'Brien one-on-one with the keeper. Unfortunately, when he's getting these chances, they seem to, at the moment, to be ending like this. The keeper saves it. And what's really ironic is that O'Brien's first touch sort of sends the keeper and he goes down too early. Oh, and you've got a real possibility of O'Brien then will go around him or lift it. But instead he hits it too straight and the keeper is able to save it. The ball, by the way, ricochets back out, and Kagachi has seen that there's maybe a tiny window here to do something special. Tries to hit a wrong foot 40-yard volley while the keeper's still getting up. It's a lovely idea. He's not able to control it properly. It's a hell of a difficult skill, and it's not on target, but it was, top marks for trying it. Wrexham start to make changes. Sheaf, we're still managing his minutes. Dobson, of course, is in great form anyway. So Dobson comes on in the 66th minute for Sheaf. And although Portsmouth's pressure continues, we are now starting to tighten things up a little bit more. There's a moment of self-inflicted danger when Okonkwo plays I'm going to say it's a peculiar sort of pass to Matty James, which certainly is showing faith in James, but James is marked, beg your pardon, touch tight, about 30 yards out on the Wrexham right, facing his own goal, and is immediately, even though he's able to take the pass under a lot of pressure, he's robbed. The ball is immediately swept in, and Chaplin again has a real sight of goal, a glorious chance, maybe their most clear-cut opportunity. There's about 15 yards out, right channel. He drills the shot in, Scar does brilliantly to hurl himself in front of Okonkwo and deflect it over the bar for a corner. And we make a couple more changes then, 13 minutes left to shore things up even more. Predictable changes. Windass and O'Brien, like I said, have been really working hard and doing well, kind of support more. It's time to give them a break and go a little bit more orthodox. So Broadhead comes on and will play more as a second striker, but then Thomason comes on and he'll be much more of a central midfielder. So although we brought on an attacking player, we've also brought on a centre mid and brought off two players trying to get forward. So all in all, we've tightened things up a bit more into a 3-5-1-1 essentially. And although we ship a lot of pressure, we do look comfortable really from this point on, or pretty comfortable. We're still defending a bit deeper than we want to, and all credit to Portsmouth for that, but we're okay. Smith comes on for more with 4 minutes left as well, but we close it out well enough. It's hard fought, it's a battle. Whoever said the championship was going to be straightforwards, but it's maybe not the threat of these fantastic teams blowing you away that people feared, which is the challenge in the championship. After all, Coventry, Middlesbrough, Stoke, we just played, weren't able to. It's more the fact that every single team is capable of performing like that, and even though Portsmouth had a poor run and are down the bottom of the table, or close to the bottom of the table, they're still a strong team, and a 0-0 draw coming away from there when their tails are up is a very good outcome. So, the final score, Portsmouth 0, Wrexham 0. I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC.